please, if you like this segment, comment, give me a like, thumbs up, no thumbs down, please. But give me your comments and subscribe if you would. It's difficult to judge if anybody's really looking at these. I see a lot of people viewing them, but I don't see a whole lot of subscriptions. So if you would, hit the little subscription deal as well. I appreciate you. So I lost it yesterday. I lost $1 million gun. Now, how did I lose $1 million gun? Well, and probably just $100,000 gun, because what is your life really worth? I just recently downgraded from $1 million life insurance policy to a $100,000 life insurance policy. So is my life worth $100,000? Well, it is to the insurance company, and I'm sure they're not hoping to pay out anytime soon, and I don't need them to. But I lost control of my kayak on the river. Yeah. So yesterday started out interesting. Yesterday, my daughters and I went out on a river, do a little kayaking, and a friend. And we got out there, and first thing, right off the bat, my youngest daughter goes the wrong direction, hits a deal. She's safe, which was the only thing I was worried about. But her kayak is pressed up against, in this bank of the river, a bunch of logs. And I go in there to get it freed up. It's got tons of water pressure pushing against it. And I get it wedged out, get it pushed around, and get it to move down the stream. Well, as it did, it rubbed against dear old Dad a little rough, and I've got some bruises and cuts and things, but I'm not going to show you where those are at, just because they're not upper thigh. You don't want to see my upper thigh. The point is, I've been on this river off and on. I haven't been on it all the time, of course, but I've been on that river since the first time I think I went on it. I was 14. That's 40 years of being off and on this river, in kayaks and canoes. And I had all this wisdom that I could partake to my daughters to keep them from getting in situations like that, right? Well, I had passed on most of that. But here's the thing. We went through the long float, and it's just a gorgeous day yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. And what happens right at the end of the canoe trip? Dear old Dad flips his canoe. Yeah. Dear old Dad, who has not flipped a canoe in 35 years probably. My family and I built a canoe way back in the day when we lived in Ohio. We manufactured our own canoe. Used to go across the Ohio River with the big barge waves, everything else. My dad, the one thing he did instill in me that was a good thing, I think, is a love for the water. Well, dear old Dad flipped his canoe after thinking, she's young, she'll learn, and that will never happen again. But I've got 40 years experience, and I screwed up. That shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have. There was no excuse for it. I got lazy. I got overconfident. I did not pay attention to details of the water like I normally do. You'll get a rough spot, and I can just paddle a couple times here, paddle one time here, and drop a paddle, and just and avoid almost everything. This time, I didn't see the problem for what it was. And it's not like it was a hidden problem. If you've been on the water very much, you'll realize there aren't very many hidden problems on the water. Not in a kayak or canoe anyway. So what did I have with me? Of course I had a bug out bag with a fishing kit, and it's all drying, spread out all over my kitchen. But I had toilet paper in there for my girls. I had, and that stayed dry. My emergency space blanket, it stayed dry. My emergency medical supplies, it stayed dry. Why? Because I was prepared that if I were to flip, which would never happen, it would all stay dry. I had, my concealed carry pistol with me, the $1 million pistol, $100,000 pistol. 10 cents is, sometimes I think, but yeah, it was all in the bag. But I made sure my bag would float no matter what. So when I flipped over, yeah, some of the stuff got in there got wet. My gloves got wet. My shirt got wet. My secondary shirt got wet. But the vast majority of stuff all held together. So though I haven't flipped in 35 years, God, it's still embarrassing. Oh my gosh. I will hear about this one for a while, but even though I flipped, in the back of my mind, I was prepared for this because I had all of the real valuable cell phone, this camera that I took I didn't even take any footage while I was there. I was going to, but there were a lot of people out on the river. And that's really the reason that I'd flipped, is because somebody was in the way in any way. I wasn't paying attention to, I was paying attention to some beads, wasn't paying attention to the river itself. And yeah, so I flipped, but everything came out all right. The kayak, drain it out, just like we did earlier for my daughter that day. So my daughter starts off the day flipping, and I finished the day. I mean, we were right there, the end of where we were going to. I flip it. Even at the end of watch, after 10 hours of staying up and walking your watch for your group, you can't let your guard down. After the shit hits the fan, we're going to need to make sure that we don't do what I just did on the river. Lose your focus, lose your attention. Now, there'll be times when you can do that, but that's when you plan to do it, where somebody else is taking the focus for you. Somebody else is making sure everything's okay. So in the last minutes, don't lose your focus like I did. It's a big wake up for me. I haven't made mistakes like that, in 35 years. But don't lose your focus. And make sure somebody else has got the focus on when you go let your hair down. Of course, I never let my hair down anymore. But that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today. I could have lost my concealed carry pistol. I could have lost all my other stuff. But because I was prepared for just such an event that would never happen to me, everything was okay. Other than a few bumps and bruises and scratches, I didn't bleed. I don't have any long-term injuries. Nothing's in a cast. So pay attention to details. It'll get you out in the end. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm Craven, and I need your thoughts. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you.